Alright everyone, and welcome to an F1 2013 league race with me, Sam. This is the Pinnacle League Season 2, Round 11 at Belgium, and we're on my qualifying lap now. And before we get into that, I'm just going to talk a bit about my channel. And as you know, I've been away for about a month because my HD telly broke, but I do have a new one now, and I will be able to start recording things again, so I should have league races up every week. And now onto the Pinnacle League, and there were two races. Well, I wasn't uploading, but I did take part in them. And in Germany, I disconnected from the qualifying session and started at the back in about 14th, and then in the race I did get a decent start, but I disconnected from that as well. So no points there after 2 wins, which wasn't great. So after that in Hungary, I qualified second for that one alongside my teammate, and in the race I managed to beat him by going with a 1 stop over his 2 stop. And yeah, that was my third win in 4 races, so that's very good. And we're now here onto Belgium, and here I am on my coming towards the end of my lap now. You can see I'm quite a bit up on the pole lap, but this was quite early on in the session as we're heading towards the end of the lap now. Heavy braking for the bus stop chicane. Try and get as good an exit out of here as possible. And it's quite a short run to the line here. DRS just before the line, and we go fastest. But that doesn't stay that way. As you can see, it did start draining towards the end, and my teammate got pole for I think the 3rd race in a row now, and I was 3rd, narrowly missing out on the front row, but that's still pretty good for us. We're going to the grid now, and it's my teammate on pole, as you can see, James in 2nd, and me in 3rd for Ferrari. Good qualifying for the team again, and just popping up to mix 3 to get as good a getaway as possible here. As the light's coming on now, hoping for another decent start here. We're away, and it wasn't the best start actually, but it's quite a short run down to turn 1 here, so we shouldn't have too much problems. We have the inside line. We don't make any positions, but we don't lose any either. There's a few incidents going on behind, but nothing to do with us. So we're safely out the first corner now, slipping back to mix 2, and we can start chasing down these front 2 who are already getting into a bit of a battle between themselves for the lead here. There's James on the inside. He was going for the lead straight away here, and he's through past my teammate into the lead, and his straight line speed here was very good, and he obviously didn't want to mess about here, and he just wanted to get that fast and straight away. And my teammate is down to 2nd, but it's still very close between us front 3, as we are about halfway through the first lap now, heading towards the Puan corner here, and we all run very wide actually through there, but none of us really lose any time, as we're actually dropping the rest of the field. But Jack runs wide there, and I think about a pass, but then I know that it could be a side pod glitch, so I decided not to take the risk of that. And heading towards the end of the lap now. The top 3 still very close here, and a bit of a gap already forming to Jordan in 4th. But yeah, it's James leading at the moment, and yeah, I think he's about 5th in the championship going into this. I think he's had a few non-scores that have sort of dented his record a bit this season, because of course he was the champion of season 1. And as you can see here, he's definitely someone who is going to be fighting at the front, but it is my teammate who's sort of running away a bit with this championship. He's got about a 50-point lead going into this one. But on to lap 2 now, and I'm actually losing this bit. I've lost a bit of ground here already on this lap, but not loads, as my teammate's lining up James now for the lead of the race. Down the Kemmel straight towards Le Combe for the 2nd time, and he moves to the outside, but James manages to hang on the inside line, and that straight line speed he's got in the McLaren definitely working for him very well here. And I've dropped about a second behind, but I've got 2.5 seconds behind me, so I'm not worrying too much at this stage. As we lose connection to someone, they were a bit further down there, so not really affecting us. And I wasn't too worried about at this point, because as you see there, James actually runs wide and my teammate gets through and I get through as well, so it's suddenly a Ferrari 1-2. But yeah, that's exactly what I was about to point out. I wasn't too worried at that point, because I knew that if they was going to keep battling, I would be able to stick with them and maybe take advantage. But we're on to lap 3 now, and you're going to see what was my real weakness in this race. I got DRS open, but James has DRS open as well, and his is just so much more OP than mine. And I don't know if it was a setup. I don't know if he was just running very low aero, because I definitely had a long 7th gear in there, but I guess maybe I was running more aero. I can't really remember what my setup is, but I think maybe I was not maximising the potential of the 7th gear, if that makes any sense at all. But James and I both run a bit wide through pit on there, but nothing too major for either of us. But I am back down to 3rd now, and I'm going to have to repass that McLaren if I want to have a chance to win this race. And he makes another mistake, and I'm through into 2nd place for now at least, as we're 1.4 behind my teammate. Yep, sorry, his previous game is a little bit small, but not too bad. And I know that I'm gonna have to look behind me as much as I'm ahead, as there's a bit of contact between us through Belgium there, and James does get through, but there's nothing like too major there. Like, it wasn't a serious collision, so I'm not too bothered. He gets the back end a bit loose out of the bus stop chicane, and I do have DRS here, so I'm gonna have a look at him into turn 1. Heavy braking, lock up slightly. I think that might have affected me a bit there. And yeah, I do overshoot the corner a little bit, and he is just going to be able to cut underneath me here as we head down towards Eau Rouge. And yeah, there's a bit more contact there as we're going through, but again, nothing major. And of course, he's just going to power past me now with DRS, and I was back down 2nd, trying to get into a slipstream, but it wasn't doing anything at all. And all I could hope for here was another mistake, really, that could let me get ahead and then pull away as much as I could, so he didn't have DRS. But I guess even if that had been possible, he probably could have caught me up on the straight. So it was definitely going to be very difficult for me. We're skipping to a bit later in the lap now, and he runs wide again. That's his 3rd crucial mistake so far in this race, and that was sort of the only thing that was like keeping me hopeful of like a 2nd place in this one. Because yeah, he did go off a couple of times, but I knew that I couldn't just rely on that, as he's already looking to repass me into the bus stop. And I decide, rather than stay out, I'm just going to pit a bit early, try and gain some time in the pit stops. As we head in now, I think Arte also came in on this lap as well. He was running up in 4th, and I'm not sure why he wasn't really fighting at the front with us, but I think he did get caught up in some stuff early on, so that might have been why. We get a decent stop, just putting it fuel back up as we exit the pits to maximise as much as we can on this out lap, and hopefully get ahead of James and maybe catch up to Jack as we skip a lap now. And there he is coming out the pits, and we've got more speed because we're not coming out the pits, and we're through for now. But I knew what was going to happen, because yeah, it was pretty obvious, really, because of course the DRS zone detection point moved nearer to Eau Rouge, because it used to be under braking for turn 1, which is a bit odd, and I might have got away with it, but clearly not. And with DRS it was another straightforward pass for 4th place for him. Of course there were 2 people ahead of us who hadn't pitted, so it was in effect for second place. We skip a lap and those two people had pitted, and now you're really going to see how much I was struggling with straight line speed, as I've got DRS and it's doing almost nothing here as I try and pass him, but the only chance I had was really on the brakes or a mistake from him, and I'm not the most confident on the brakes. I mean, that could be to do with running without ABS as we go into the next lap now, and it's doing even less now, and I wasn't very hopeful of past him at this point, and I knew I was going to have to do something drastic, if anything, if I was going to pass him, as we're skipping to the beginning of the penultimate lap now, and I do get a chance here into turn 1 and a break in, but yeah, I overshoot it again and he's back through. That was pretty straightforward actually, and I'm not even sure if I was actually close enough to get DRS there. I probably was, but it wouldn't do anything. But skipping to the end of the lap now into the bus stop, there is a little bit of contact there, the tiniest bit of contact, but it does get the back end a bit loose on his car, so I did back off a little bit because it wouldn't have been fair if we had beaten him that way. Into turn 1 on the final lap, I do run very wide there, which didn't help at all, and of course nothing happened in the DRS zone, so this was my last chance here, heading towards the bus stop chicane for the final time, and it was at this point that I realised I'd had a lap of fuel save, which was very convenient. And he runs wide through Belgium, and I think I might just get him into the bus stop here, but on the outside it wasn't going to happen. And as you can see just ahead, my teammate, who didn't really pull away from us that much, winning with James in second, and I get another podium in third, so that's a decent result for us, and it's another Ferrari win. I mean, we're only at round 11, I think this is the 9th win for the team, so yeah, we're doing very well at the moment, and I think that result actually did move me ahead of Callum or M58 Simoncelli in the championship, so we are actually Ferrari 1-2 in the championship right now. But that's it for this race. Obviously this is my first commentator video, so if you did enjoy it, then leave a like and leave some tips on how I can improve it, because I know this won't have been that good. But thank you for watching, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.